So Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran is the author of this book, uh, The Ultimate Connection with God. And when he means God, he means with eternity. But we live in a world which is temporal. All of us understand that whether or not we admit it or talk about it, that there's an end to our lives. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to connect to eternity in this world? So let's see what's going on here. Last year that Rabbi Memron gave us, we have a blurb that kind of sums it up. There he talks about the ego. He says the definition, I guess that's what he's saying, the ego consists of mind activity. And the only way it maintains its place in one's life is through constant thinking. Okay, this is a radical idea that we need to be able to control our thinking of just not he's talking about the quality of your thinking. He's talking of the fact that your mind is constantly busy. Like I told you the first time I met him, he gave a little spiel on monkey talk, how to be able to control the nonsensical, non-needed talk in our brains. So let's go on to the next part. Now, this is a new part. In part two, he said the Yetzer Hara's denial of the neshama, love for Hashem, and this is from Sefer Halkrim. I don't know the Sefer. Ikr, that's an I, so it's but Sefer Ikrim. Okay, the Sefer the roots. He says love for Hashem is the greatest level one can really reach spiritually, since love is what attaches the one who is loved with the ones who loves. Let me read this again. Since love is what attaches the one who is loved with the one who loves, which causes an intelligent, wholesome connection. So let's go see what we got to say here. The mind always seeks to deny the neshama, to entrap one in the ego mentality of constant thinking and worry. The more we are able to honor, accept, and feel the presence of our neshamas, the more we will be free from this entrapment. Why does the mind habitually deny the neshama or resist the neshama's existence? The answer is that we live in a linear universe. Now, what does he mean by a linear universe? One in which all things happen along a continuum that is determined by the passage of time. This means that the mind cannot remain in control. In fact, it cannot function at all without the element of time. Time is defined by the past and the future. And so he said, wait a minute, let me see if I got this right. And time and mind are inseparable. So let me see if I said this wrong. Yeah, therefore, as the mind perceives it, the existence of a timeless neshama is a threat to its own temporal existence because the mind is associated with the body. The body is temporal, but the neshama is not. But the neshama, but the mind, the ego, has to achieve dominance because it seeks to be dominant. Imagine how the earth would be if it were devoid of human life. If it were inhabited only by plants and animals with no human mind to keep track of its ever-changing circumstances, would it then still have a past and a future? Would we be able to speak of time in any meaningful way? The point being made here is that time does not need to be the controlling factor in one's life. Take breathing as an example. Everyone would agree that breathing is crucial to all living things, but no one would think to make an issue out of it. Do people worry about breathing? Do they question whether they're going to breathe at the next instant or not? No. It's the same with time. Of course, there are advantages and benefits to time, but one does not need to worry about this at all. This is a natural process, like breathing, that takes care of itself. The point is not to make an issue of time. Now, I'm not sure exactly all of what this means for my life, so let's read on. Of course, we need both the mind and time in order to function in this world. But when they take over our life, that is where dysfunction, pain, and sorrow set in. In order to ensure that it remains in control, the mind is continually seeking to silence or at least to cover up the voice of timeless neshama. It does this by flooding itself with stories of the past and expectations of the futures, and these stories lead the mind to worry and anxiety. If left to its own devices, the mind will embrace time obsessively, and this will give it tremendous power to obscure the vitality, the infinite creative potential, and the many sensations of the neshama. This will leave you feeling drained in a world that was created to enable you to thrive. If we do not learn to bring our minds under our control, we will lose touch with our true magnificent nature. Time has turned into an increasingly heavy burden that has been accumulating in the human mind. All of us suffer under this burden, but we also keep adding to it, moment by moment, whenever we ignore or deny our precious neshama energy. By constantly contemplating past events, or going over it and over it and over it, or a theoretical future, which exists only in the mind, never in actuality, we reduce the neshama's ability to smooth over the path for us in our life's journey. Now, there's a lot in this. I recommend that everybody buy this book because it's worth reading more than once. This is a little bit, he's talking about mind control, learning how to control your thought processes. Blurb says the more we are able to honor, accept, and feel the presence of our neshamas, that's a different story. That is, to feel the eternity within us, the more we will be free of pain, free of suffering, and free of the ego mind. This has been Baruch Fleischman here. I'm at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. This is Rabbi Y.C. Mimran, Jewish mystical meditation. It's going to get thicker.